CorrinaHyndman, and I am here to recertify my core cycling. Here's my 20-minute video for bike setup and my performance. I've been teaching for 14 years, and I don't know why I'm so nervous doing this to a video camera. I teach in front of 14, 15 people on a regular basis, but for some reason a video camera makes me all nervous. So bear with me. I do have my music playing. I hope it's not loud enough, too loud that you can't hear me. So basic bike setup, what I usually do. Participant first comes into class. A general principle, I say walk up to the side of your bike, hand on the side of your bike, top of your pelvis or your hip right there. Will give you a good idea generally to start with where that seat placement needs to be. When you crawl onto that bike, I clip in my bike. I also instruct other people to make sure their feet are nice and tight in those cages. And as you cycle around, you are looking for when your foot is in its lowest strike position, heel flat to the ground. You want just a slight bend in that knee, nothing overexerted or nothing hyperextended as well too. So it's just a slight bend in that knee. Comfort-wise, the handlebars on these Kaiser bikes of ours can be slightly difficult. I say have them wherever they're most comfortable. Some people like to have them up a little higher. When these handlebars go up higher, they take you further away. So sometimes just having them a little bit lower to have the handlebars closer to you in this case is what might work. So handlebars, comfort level, wherever you like to have them. And then I bring out my trusty plume and I ask them to put their feet into a 9 and 6 o'clock position. And you take that plume on the left side of the knee, or the inside of the knee, I should say, sorry. And drop it down, and it should intersect with the pedal, and that will give you a position for your seat to make sure your seat is good and that those knees are not overextended on your saddle. Nice, smooth, steady cadence to start with as we pedal through. Starting the class, welcome everybody. Glad you're here for a good, awesome ride. Let's have some fun today. Starting off, for those of you that have not taken the class before and do not know what gear your smooth flat road is or your starting gear, I want you to start and take that gear all the way off your pedal. You are at gear 1 starting. And without really looking, I want you to slowly take that tension up. Doesn't matter what gear you are, it will be different for everybody. I want you to slowly take it up until you feel where the road hits that tire. A little bit of feeling in the legs. Nothing major pushing the quads, pulling in the hamstrings. It's where that first little bit of road touches your tire. This should feel like an easy pedal. You're not out of breath. You're just feeling that road underneath you. This is your leisurely bike ride. You're not getting out of breath. It's just a smooth, steady cadence to get going. So this is the point where I always say come back to. This is your smooth, flat road. This is your recovery area. This is where you can come to catch your breath. After a hill, after a sprint, you need a drink of water. This is where you bring your attention back to catch your breath. So starting the class with a warm-up, smooth, flat road. I want you to get those RPMs somewhere between 80 and 90. Comfortable, fast, getting that heart rate up nice and slowly, and then we'll dive into it. Your bum is on the back of that saddle. Core is strong. Nice loose grip on that handlebar with a nice bend in that elbow. Slowly pulling those RPMs up. We'll pull our heart rate up a little bit higher for our warm-up. Sitting somewhere between 80 and 90. Let's pull those RPMs up towards the higher side. I want you to feel 90 RPM. Without touching that resistance, we've pulled our level of exertion up to about a 6. A little bit more difficult to breathe because you're trying to push a little bit faster, but you're working just a little bit harder. So from here, let's surge up a little bit faster again. Let's get those RPMs up a little bit higher. We haven't touched our tension, but we're pedaling faster. Good, this is getting our heart rate up. We are moving faster, blood is flowing to that body. I'm going to slow that cadence back down a little bit, between that 80 and 90 RPM range. And we're going to take a gear up. Whether it's 1 gear on your bike or 2 gears, I want you to feel a bit of a difference with your exertion. Maybe a little more breathless, not pushing down in those quads right away. Maybe what I call right below that quad burn zone. Level 6, 6.5 on our level of exertion scale. And from here, we're going to do the same surge. So sitting somewhere between 80 and 90 right now. Let's pull those RPMs up. A little bit faster, let's find 90. Hold it there. Good, a little bit faster. What's in that tank? Show me. 100 RPM. Good, hold it there. Now I want you to slowly bring those RPMs back down for me. Now as we go out further on our bike ride, maybe that pavement's getting a little rougher. Maybe there's sticky tar in the road that our tires are getting stuck into. I want you to add a gear of resistance. We're taking our exertion up a little bit. You're at 7, maybe 7.5. Quads, you're starting to feel that work in those quads a little bit more. It's uncomfortable. And you probably will have about 3 or 4 words behind that breath as you push forward. We're going to do this surge a little bit more again here. Give me faster by 10 RPM. Warming up even more. Good. Take those legs faster. Show me what you got. Getting that heart rate up. Maybe that first couple beads of sweat coming across your brow. That's right. Good. Let's sustain this and hold it. Three, 2, 1. Good. Let's slow back on that speed. Keeping the tension where it is. Your level of exertion, you're about a 7 out of 10. Working those legs. Now for the purposes of warm-up, my warm-up is usually anywhere between 10 and 12 minutes. But for the purpose of this video, we will skip repeating basically what I just did. Taking that level of exertion down to 6, doing surges, a little bit more tension, more surges forward. And that is my warm-up. After warm-up, I tell everyone to go back down to that smooth, flat road, that first gear that you started with. So our next drill that we'll do is very much like heading out on the road. It is a sprint drill, or a series of drills where we increase the length of our sprint. Taking that gear from that smooth, flat road, I want you to add about 1 or 2 gears. I want you to feel that wind resistance in your face. A little bit of work on those legs, not a lot. maybe right below that quad burn zone. This is maybe a 6.5, 7 level of exertion as you're sitting. But when you take those legs up to a sprint, you're going to exert yourself even more. Without even having to touch your dial, you're going to take that level of exertion up a little bit. So, leaving the tension where it is, let's just pick up that cadence. Show me fast legs. You're sitting here for a 15-second interval. Nice, steady cadence. Try not to surge those legs up or slow that speed down. We have 3, 2, 1. Good. Slowly, gradually slow that cadence down. Next interval is a 30-second interval. Catching that breath. Imagining yourself out for a ride. Flat, smooth road in front of you. You have a goal in mind. Let's get there now. Let's go. Pick up that cadence. Smooth and fast. Not getting those legs bogged down. Steady, smooth pedal strokes. Good, hold it for 3, 2, hold it down, slow it down. Recovery, catch that breath, grab some water if you need to. Next interval is 45 seconds. A little bit longer, so maybe your RPMs have to be a little bit slower, but you need to maintain them. So try not to sprint up, slow down. I want you to keep that speed nice and steady. Your level of exertion, about 7 out of 10, where you can't carry on a long conversation with your neighbor, but you're pushing those legs fast. Here we go, pick it up. And if you get those RPMs over 120, I need you to add some gear, please. Too fast. Right around that 100, 105 mark. Fast legs.
There's no stopping us right now.
Shoulders are down and relaxed. Loose grip on those handlebars.
There's no stopping us right now.
Good.
I feel so close to you.
Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Last time. Slow it down. Some deep breaths. Last interval, 1 minute. Again, maybe your RPMs aren't as fast as they once were. That's okay, just keep it steady. That's your goal. Fill those lungs with some good oxygen, remembering to breathe. Maybe even find the beat of that music. 1 minute, you guys. Here we go. Pick up that cadence. Core is strong. So you're not bobbing up and down. Pedal strokes come from those hips and those quads. So drop that heel. When you get all the way down to that 6 o'clock position, think about wiping mud off the bottom of that shoe. Long strokes. Pull that toe up. When you hit that 12 o'clock position on that bike, 11, 12, 1, roll that foot over top of the barrel. Get that ankle. Keep that speed steady. I'm asking for 10 more seconds. Good. Here we go for 3, 2. There it is. Good work, you guys. Slow it down. Grab some water if you need it. Usually the other half of this drill, back down the other side of that pyramid. But let's look at some rolling hills now. Starting back down, smooth, flat road. So drop that gear a little bit. So starting off at the base of our hill. It's smooth, it's flat. We're happy campers here. But as we look up in front of us, we realize that that's a big climb. So let's add 2 gears. Take ourselves out of this comfort zone. 6.5 level of exertion. Feel it underneath those tires. Cadence really doesn't slow down too much, but you definitely start to feel it in those quads. They're not burning, but you're working a little bit harder. Keep those RPMs 75 to 85. Nice, smooth, steady pedal strokes. All right, here it is. Adding gear sufficient enough to feel a difference. Maybe that's 1 gear for you. Maybe that's 2 gears for you. Either way, I want you to take yourself up to that 7.5 level of exertion. You're feeling it in the quads now, and you're thinking, this is starting to feel uncomfortable. I'm pushing harder. Maybe these RPMs have slowed down. I gotta work to keep them up there. And I'm starting to become reckless. Maybe even that breath is gone, depending on how you're feeling. But the key here is, remember, smooth pedal strokes. Don't get bogged down in mud. Up, down, front, back. Keep it going. All right, this is where the hill climb starts to get a little bit ugly. Adding more gear, sufficient enough to feel a difference. Maybe by now it's just 1, maybe it's 2. Those legs have slowed down. You are definitely entering 7.5, 8 territory. You're working, your breath is gone, and you definitely have sweat trickling down the top of that brow as you push forward. Now working with the beat for your pedal stroke. Challenging, yes. You just need to keep it smooth and steady at your own pace as you climb this hill. But here we go. We've reached the top of this one. I want you to drop that gear by 1 or 2. Take it off so you feel just a slight bit of difference. It's a little bit easier, and it's a straightaway. So we're working. I want you to resume that cadence, pick up those legs, move a little faster across here. Good. As you move those legs faster, you're challenging yourself more. Heart rate keeps going up, and you're pushing. All right, here we go. 2 gears up again, or maybe it's just 1. How are you feeling? Definitely back to that quad burn. You're fighting for it. Getting short of breath. Maybe a return when you were doing that sprint. We're getting that RPM up. Can you keep it around 70? Do the best that you can. All right, from here, our goal is to get to 8.5 level of exertion. I want you to go up by 1 year. Push it. Climb this hill. And maybe we're not sure of our surroundings. Maybe we pedaled somewhere where we don't know where to go. So let's pull it out of that saddle. This is a standing hill climb. The weight is still over top of your axis. Light weight on those handlebars. With a slight bend in that elbow. Keeping those elbows tucked in. No flies. Nice and in. Rhythmic bounce. Straight up and down. And we want to reach the top of this hill first. So I want you to give me a surge. Fast speed. Pick up that cadence the best you can. Climb. Push. Long deep breaths. Get up there. Taking yourself to the top. 3, 2, good. Take it seated. Don't touch that tension though. You're still climbing. But now this hill isn't quite so ugly. It's not as steep. Let's take that gear down by 2. Pushing down. Here we go. Nice long deep breath. Slow that heart rate down. Here we go. Drop it by 2 again. Nice deep breath. Slow those legs. And take it back to that smooth, flat road. So we climbed our hill. We stayed on that flat hill. We surged it up. And now we're just back on that smooth, flat road. And cool down. Keeping those legs spinning. Just to take that heart rate back down. Cool down is usually about 6 to 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. Steady cadence. Maybe a couple surges in there, seated, fast, low RPM, or sorry, high RPM, low PRE scale, just to spin those legs out, then slow it down. Little speed up, RPMs are 90 max, and then slow again. And then just a nice, steady, smooth cadence to bring it on home. My classes are usually an hour in length, 10 to 12 minute warm-up, drills throughout the whole thing. And I try to do a drill with a bit of recovery, drill with a bit of recovery, but I don't make it noted recovery. I usually take them on an adventure through the woods, up mountains, through some volcanic mountains, make up a story as I go along. Wind the class down with some stretching off our bikes. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to hearing back from you, Claire. Thanks.